Oh, it's another story about the migrant caravan because we got video footage from on the ground as this caravan stormed the border of Mexico from Guatemala. I hear a lot of people, they use the rhetoric of invasion, and I do not believe that is accurate. I believe that is a bit hyperbolic. It's very partisan. I can understand why people say it, but to me it feels a bit too, look, I'm a centrist kind of person. I try to be rational, and so I wouldn't call it an invasion, and I think that's a bit over the top. But I understand the idea. Now listen, to me an invasion would be a funded and sponsored and sanctioned military like assault. And some people are people are obviously going to be like, no, Tim, you're wrong. Invasion is just a word that means like a large group of people. Sure. But typically when we talk about an invasion, we're not talking about a bunch of migrants who are trying to seek asylum or migrate. We're talking about people who have a military objective. We're talking about people who are trying to seize territory and things of that nature. I do not believe the Honduran migrants who are coming to the U.S. are doing it because they want to take over. They're doing it because America is amazing. It's really funny. Before we're gonna watch a video. We're gonna watch a look of this video. But I think it's really amazing. This conservative brought up, man, if Trump is white supremacist and America is so bad, how come 4,000 migrants are desperately trying to get here? And I'm like, this is what really bothers me about American millennials. Not really millennials, but the American God, I don't know what this faction is, but dude, America's amazing. It really is. I'm in LA right now, and across the street you've got 50 different different types of food, like food from all over the world. I could walk outside and I could get sushi, I can get Thai food, I can get a burrito, Chinese food, I can probably get like an Eastern European style cuisine, I can get Ethiopian food, I can get literally, there's probably even Venezuelan, there is just a plethora of variety. There is technology all around us. America is beautiful, it is safe, it is incredible. We have rights. We have. Well, hopefully we retain the rights, but it's great. And that's why people want to come here. Plain and simple. To act like it's worse than it's ever been. To act like crime is worse than it's ever been. Like Trump is the worst president we've ever had. Look, I take issue with every president we've had, basically, because I think there's a lot of things the executive office does in this country that I don't agree with. Plain and simple. I had a guy at the DNC the other day, for a Democrat, arguing we should be invading Guatemala to stop the gangs and the cartels, and I'm like, whoa, I don't like the foreign policy stuff. But hold on, I'm not so daft to claim that America is a terrible place. It's a horrible place when you've got people desperately trying to come here. If this place was so terrible, people would be fleeing from it. No, they want to be here. Everybody wants to be here because this is a great country. America, it's awesome. Is it the best country in the world? It's up for debate. Depends on where you live, where you come from. I think America's got a lot of problems. I think America does a lot of things wrong. But I've been to a lot of these terrifying places. I've been to dangerous countries. It's scary. There's just, it's bad. And we want to make sure America stays good. And that means we need to have, I had someone tell me that liberals don't believe in borders, and I'm like, no. Whatever this weird fringy group being embraced by the Democrats, they don't believe in borders. Actual liberals, like your regular old American Democrats who aren't engaging right now, yeah, they're for borders. Hillary Clinton, Obama, Bernie, they all said we need a southern border. Let's take a look at this story. Thousands of Central American migrants in caravans storm Mexico's southern border. So let me play this. I don't want this to be too loud, but let's play this video right here. You can see people, they're throwing the barricades up on the top of this awning, and they're all yelling. They're tearing down the barricades. This is crazy. Looks like I got some press in there. And then, sure enough, they start storming through. So I don't. So this is footage I had not seen before from inside the caravan, and you can see they got some police. Eventually, they tore the barriers down and ran straight through. I don't know if it's in this footage, but we'll just watch for a second. So I don't know if I have the actual footage. Man, I thought I did. Where you see all of this huge crowd just pouring through the gates. Now, a lot of conservatives are saying this is a commercial for the wall, why we need to build the wall. And I'll say this, at key points on the southern border, like in Mexicali, Calexico, massive border wall. Like it's a huge fence. It's weirdly shaped. And I was watching something. There was a border patrol officer talking about how people get injured climbing it, and they'll do it no matter what. This is I gotta say, this is a losing position for the Democrats. Okay, when you have these videos, Trump tells supporters no illegal immigrants entering the U.S. on my watch. Following Friday's storming of the Mexican border, U.S. President Donald Trump told a rally in Arizona that migrant caravans working their way up through Central America would not be allowed into the country on my watch. Listen, I'm at Politicon, and what I've been doing is walking around and I'm talking to people. And I said, to people on the left and the right, this is a really interesting conversation. I said to a guy, okay, name for me a Republican position right now. Go. And immediately says, immigration, build the wall, right? Jobs, economy, things like that. And I'm like, right, easy. It's easy. Trump goes up and says jobs, not mobs. There's a Republican policy position. They want to bring back manufacturing to the U.S. Yeah, we get it. The Republicans are doing this. Economy is great. Okay, the economy is good. Sure. Immigration, building the border wall, things of that nature. Okay. Name a Democrat position. And everyone goes, resist. And I'm like, come on, like they do have positions. Can you name one? And everyone's like, impeach Trump. And I said, I can actually name what the Democrats are talking about. Right? They're talking about immigration reform. They're talking about abolishing ICE. They're talking about amnesty for dreamers. These are some of their core policies. Why is it that most people I asked said resist? And I said, you know why? It's because the strongest talking point the Democrats have is we don't like Trump. And so here's what I tell people. Okay, you don't like Trump. I hear you. Trump is the kind of person that makes me cringe, okay? I think this is something a lot of Republicans might not understand as to why there's such a recoil from the left about Trump. It's his personality and demeanor. The things he's done, the things he's been accused of, the things he says are just cringe-inducing, and it's like, it just immediately puts you in a negative position. However, I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. That means, okay, foreign policy decision, bad. Trump's doing a bunch of stuff I think is absolutely wrong, and I can talk about that. The economy is doing really, really well right now. Unemployment is really low. Okay. All right. So Trump is a bad person, in my opinion, in regards to like his attitude and how he treats people and mocks people and insults people. Yeah, I think that's all bad. But we're talking about a job. We're talking about how is going in this country. I don't think Trump should be impeached simply because he's mean. Right? Plain and simple. I cannot like the guy, but you're gonna have to. Here's what I say to the Democrats. Listen. You want me to vote for you? I want to vote for you. I want to vote for Democrats, okay? I voted for Obama, right? But here's the thing. You can't come to me and say, impeach Trump, impeach. And I go, sure, why? And they say, he's bad, he's racist. And okay, listen. You got to explain to me what is going on right now in this country that is wrong. Well, the economy is really good. Unemployment's down. Foreign policy stuff. Oh, okay, I'll hear you out. Tell me about foreign policy. You can't just come to me and say, I want to impeach Trump. You have to say, you want to impeach Trump, I'll say, why? You say, okay, these things that are happening in our country are bad. Okay, what's your solution number 3? That's how you get me to vote for you. But the Democrats aren't offering me any of that. It's not the message being put out. The message I see from everybody is resist. Progressive values. What does that mean? Okay, you got to explain to me why the economy doing so well is a bad thing. And you can. There are people like Bill Maher's brought up, look, short-term gains, long-term losses. He says something of the effect like, Trump is pushing for policies that are going to make it seem like everything's great, but then it's going to hurt us in the long term. These trade deficits, trade war, it's bad for us. Okay, you've explained to me why it's bad. Proposed solution. And there isn't one. And I'm sure there are some people who have it. I'm at Politicon, okay? I am not in an isolated bubble. Politicon has, in my opinion, a ton of progressive speakers. And I'm asking them for solutions. And what ended up happening was a man walked up to me, and it was very comical. Maybe it was a bit, but he said, I have solutions. I have proposals. How about a deadbolt in every classroom door to prevent a school shooting? And I'm like, well, that's a weird fringe issue, but like a deadbolt? I mean, we can actually talk about the issue of guns. I'm open to that, but that's a weird thing to say to me. And then he says we should send the soldiers into Mexico and Guatemala to stop the migrants. And I was like, whoa, that's your solution to the migrant problem. And that was a Democrat guy. And I'm like, that's a ridiculously extreme position because the Democrats aren't saying that. The Republicans aren't even talking about doing that. Trump's saying he's going to send the army to the border to stop these people from coming in, not to send them into Mexico. That's what someone said to me. I think it may have been a bit, right? The guy was very comical, but no, I feel like he was putting on a display, but I think he really believed a lot of what he was saying. And I'm like, I feel like the Democrats are not unified on any of this, okay? So here's the thing. The reason why I bring this up with the migrant caravan for immigration specifically is that the average American believes we should have border security and that illegal immigration is bad. And migrants, legal immigrants, even believe illegal immigration is bad. Okay. And not all of them. There's some people who are like, hey, open the borders. The Democrats are going to need to rebut this. Trump is talking about what's going on there. We've got these videos, and the Democrats need to address this because it is huge right now. What are they going to say? Are they going to say, we agree with Trump? The border we shouldn't allow these people in? Are they going to say that? No, they're not. They're going to say things like, oh, amnesty. They're going to say things like, oh, but we should help these people. They say things like abolish ICE. I'm like, that doesn't even mean anything to me, man. You need to. None of it makes sense. I feel like right now the only strong position they have is we don't like Trump. I'm sorry, that's not good enough for me. It may work for some people, but you've got to convince moderate Americans who are really concerned about what's happening in the world that everything going on right now is bad. There are things I don't like about Trump. There are things I don't like about his foreign policy. You need to explain why they're bad, what you're going to do about it if you want to justify your stance of resist. Resisting Trump simply because you don't like him, because he's a mean and nasty person, is not a reason for anything. Because the economy is doing great. America is doing great. So what, you're just trying to stop the good things that are happening? It makes no sense. Again, I'll say it. The missile strike in Syria, the commando raids in Yemen, the assassinations in Yemen, the weapons deal with Saudi Arabia, the support of Saudi Arabia's proxy, or we have a proxy war essentially with Yemen. There's a lot of bad things that Trump has done in terms of foreign policy I don't like. And now we got the issue of the journalist who was assassinated, essentially. I know it's hard to know exactly what happened. And I'll say this, when Trump said we got to make sure we know exactly what happened before we take action, he's right, 100%. We can't just jump the gun and point the finger and say you did it, end of story. And it is also fair to say that we need to be really careful about how we deal with our allies, even Saudi Arabia, if they did do this, because we need allies, okay? It's a dangerous situation. But when you look at what's going on with the weapons deal, with the drone bombs and the commando raids in Yemen that are being unreported because the media in this country is worth. Well, admittedly, I do talk about it, but I haven't been reporting heavily on it either because the midterms, and so I can't blame them if I got to hold myself to the same standard. The point being, I can rant all about the foreign policy issues I think Trump is doing that I disagree with, but I don't know better. I don't know why he's doing it. I don't know what should be done. I don't know what would happen if he stopped. I know I don't like it, and it gives me a reason to be like, okay, I'm definitely listening to somebody who's going to tell me and inform me and say, this is why we need to stop this. They aren't. They aren't. So, okay, you don't got me. And plain and simple. If your position is going to come to me and say, hey, Tim, we don't like Trump, I'll be like, and? Yeah, I personally don't like him either, but hey, I'm not going to tell the people working factories in the middle of this country that it's wrong they got their jobs back. I'm not going to go to the people who are like, I like Trump and things are better than ever, and be like, well, you know what, because I personally don't like the guy, I think you should suffer. Makes no sense. I personally don't like the guy. I personally don't like his foreign policy decisions. But I don't know enough about the economy to say whether or not he should or shouldn't be doing the things he's doing. I'm concerned about tax cuts because it'll increase the deficit, and that can be. I'm not an economist, but inflation, the strain, etc. All I know is I'm in a negative position towards the man, but not enough to want to impeach him, and not enough to tell the average American who likes him that they're wrong for all the good things that are happening, because I don't know. And that's where I am as a center-left, a kind of independent individual trying to figure out who I should vote for. And the Democrats are saying, hey, hate Trump more. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I don't like him, but can you explain to me why I should want him impeached? They can't. Should you explain to me why I should disagree with the things he's doing? They haven't. Maybe someone can, but they're not doing it. Anyway, I don't want to rant any longer. I'm going to go ahead to Politicon again, maybe have another good interview, something interesting for tomorrow. So stick around, and I'll see you in the main channel tomorrow at 4 p.m., youtube.com/Timcast.